Hey guys, it's Josh here from the Quick Speed Shop. Today's Friday, September 5th, and if you want to go to GM News on the internet here, I'm going to put a link to the article. GM News just did an article on the Harley J. Earl classwork artwork I found in a barn last October when I was cleaning out a barn near me, and I got some Worthington tractors and a whole bunch of other parts. I did 2 videos on it. I did a video on the book of the sketches, and I did a video on finding the stuff in the barn. Now, I haven't really updated anybody on the sketches, but I ended up going to General Motors in Warren, Michigan, to the Heritage Group out there, where they have all the GM stuff, history, all drawings, all kinds of history-related things at General Motors itself. And I met with the head archivist named Christo, and I showed him the book, and we went through it, and basically GM ended up purchasing the book from me, and they have it on display in their archives, and they've taken the artwork and they've scanned it, and it's part of the GM Permanent Archive now. But they just did an article on GM News. Like I said, I'll put a link in the description here for the link for the article. If you want to go read that, that'd be awesome. And I did an interview with him a couple weeks ago on it. But a super, super cool find. A really very monumental piece of automotive history. All the designers in that book of sketches, if you go back and watch the video, I go through it and I name some of the names. All the designers in that book pretty much went on to design every single important car that came out of Detroit for all the automotive groups. Guys like Joe Oros, Elwood Engel, Ed Glowacke, Ned Nickels. Ned Nickels worked for Buick. Ed worked for Cadillac. Joe Oros and Elwood Engel worked for Ford and then went to Chrysler. They replaced Virgil Exner in '61, but before that at Ford, Elwood Engel did the Lincoln Continental, and Joe Oros worked on the Mustang. Some of the other names in there, like all these guys were the pivotal guys that were the head designers at Ford, Chevy, GM. Some worked at Studebaker, some worked at Packard, Cadillac, all throughout the 50s, 60s, and into the early 70s until they retired. All these guys went to that GM design school under Harley Earl, and all their coursework was the pictures I found. I'll put a link for that video down here. If you go watch that video, I go through and I flip it. But GM's got the things now, and they put out an article at GM News. So I'd appreciate it if you'd go read that and leave a comment telling me it came. I think you can leave comments there. I don't know. But if you want to read the article, it's pretty cool, and you can see some pictures there. And it was just by happenstance, I happened to pick up that book out of the trash and looked at it, and so that's kind of cool, and brought it home, and it turned out to be something very, very special for General Motors and Ford and Dodge, all the big three, like a very important piece of automotive history that I just randomly came across in the barn. So if you want to check that out, go to GM News and go and watch my videos I put out on that. And thanks a lot. Speaking of GM, I'm going to get back and work on my C10 truck. I got to get it done here. It's close, but we got a lot to do. So thanks for watching. Appreciate it. And we'll see you next time. I guess finding valuable artwork and making my own artwork at the Quick Speed Shop.